Hello, gorgeous Virgo family. Welcome to March 2020. I hope you are digging deep into this mirror season as the planets and the energies move so deeply and profoundly through your opposite sign of Pisces. I always find these oppositional times when we have a lot of energy opposing something in our natal chart to be really powerful. And as many of you know, I'm a Virgo moon, so I'm definitely doing some work with allowing emotion, allowing deeper connection, deeper vulnerability. It's a really powerful, powerful time that we are moving through right now. And March is big. I just want you to take a second and get comfortable in your space wherever you are, because this is a catalytic month. Of course, we had a lot of catalytic energy December and January when we were having eclipse season and all of that shadow work in Capricorn. But now we have something different happening. One, it's always a powerful month in March because it's a month of the equinox, and I find the equinox is really empowering. They almost have more of an impact sometimes than those solstices do as far as impact. They can feel very, death and rebirth in a way that is really clear and crisp. That balancing energy that happens when we move with the sun moving into Aries and that equinox shifting everything around on the 20th. But there's also another big shift happening here, which is Saturn moving into Aquarius. Saturn's been working in Capricorn for over 2 years. We have just been doing that Saturn and Capricorn work. So this shift is big because it really changes the flavor of how we're doing stuff. The other big thing for you Virgos out there is you get this big full moon on the 9th. So right around the time that Mercury is finishing its retrograde and stationing direct, you have this big full moon in your sign, illuminating who you want to be, how you want to become next, illuminating your destiny. That's all happening. And then as we get to the last part of the month, we have this equinox. Shortly thereafter, on the 22nd, we have Saturn moving into Aquarius, which is an interesting sign for you. And then we also have all that energy moving into your 8th house in Aries, right? We have the sun moving into Aries. We have a new moon in Aries. Energy slowly trickling into your 8th house of transformation. So Virgos, this is a time of big messages for you all. I will just say that right now. Ace of Wands popped right out. This is a time of getting to commune with your future self. I know we've talked about this before, but Virgos, this is a huge part of the year for you. We are only going to get a taste of Saturn in Aquarius. He will retrograde and go back toward Capricorn. And the second half of the year, we're going to be back in Saturn and Capricorn energy until around the end of the year. And then we'll go back into Saturn and Aquarius for a couple of years. My point there being that this month you get the first taste of what the next 3-year cycle is going to be about. And paying attention to that is really important. Who you're going to be becoming, who you're going to be. You're getting huge hits of energy. And yeah, you're not going to be able to do work or show up to life the same way you did back in 2018 or 2019. It's just not going to work. 6 of Wands. Wow, Virgs. I'm loving it. I just called you Virgs too. Yes, we did. It's also really interesting. If you happen to be a Virgo rising, Saturn and Mars are both moving into Aquarius this month. That's some big time energy. And that means it's moving into your 6th house. It's actually the house you all rule and connect with. That house of showing up in the details, and noticing our bodies and noticing how we serve, how we show up to routines, all those little details, all those Mercurial details. I think you're also getting a lot of clarity from the fact that your ruling planet is Emperor. Boom. Your ruling planet is going direct this month and moving back, and then we'll be moving through Pisces, right? Back through your 7th house again. There's a lot of clear, crisp transit going on here. A lot of clarity and crispness. Also, though, keep in mind that while you are communing with your future self, Ace of Cups, boom. You are also doing the transformational work of Aries season. And that means that you are shedding a skin, Eight of Swords and the Hermit. One more card and then we'll talk through this. You are shedding a skin. You are shedding an identity. You are being reborn in how you're doing things. You know, and it's in the details. It's in your day-to-day. It's in how you're living your life. Nine of Swords. Okay, so there's a little anxiety about this change, right? I think, the bottom of the deck was 10 of Cups. I can't resist, man. That's just too good. I think that makes sense. I think it's scary to change. Even the best mutable sign energy in the world can find it scary to change and a little overwhelming and a little disconcerting to suddenly be a different shape, different questions coming up, different challenges coming up, different ideas coming up and out of you. And when you have a huge infusion of energy and information coming in, you're going to want to take more time to listen to that. But because you're also going through this kind of underworld process of shedding a skin and communing with that kind of amorphous aspect, that mysterious divine aspect of yourself, that can also feel overwhelming and a little scary to trust initially. So here's the thing, y'all. I mean, I'm just going to show you the first 5 cards here again because they are all amazing. Ace of Wands, Six of Wands, Ace of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Emperor. I actually did that kind of out of order because that Ace of Cups came after the Emperor, but what have you. The point being here, those are all huge new beginning energies, like one after the other, right? Like boom, 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 boom. You have so much new beginning energy popping in this reading. New creative adventures, new relationship adventures, new ways of relating to yourself and your creative voice. Something is getting activated here that's huge. The fact that you have the Six of Wands is really interesting as well. I kind of think of this as like you've gone through an obstacle course, you've gone through some kind of experience, and you've hit a point in that process where you have kind of completed that challenge. You've completed that learning curve. Even though Saturn is going to go back to Capricorn for the second half of the year, and we are going to go back to what we've been working on the last couple of years, it doesn't mean that, but I think, what am I trying to say here? But I think to some extent, as we get this first taste of Saturn in Aquarius, there's also an understanding we're kind of finishing up what it was that we were really working on so hard those last couple of years. You know, it's kind of that sensation that is complete and a nod to that understanding of it. And so if, you know, I would suggest just kind of like looking at 2018 and 2019 and what were the big themes coming out of that time for you? You know, where did you find that you had the biggest challenges, or where you noticed you kept getting kind of redirected to go pay attention to a certain thematic quality? Of course, you know, Saturn in Capricorn has been very much about your heart chakra and your creative voice and making you sit with that and focus on it and listen to it and hear it out and have you be more guided by that heart chakra energy, right? But in Aquarius, it's going to be much more about liberation. It's going to be much more about doing things in a new fashion, in a new way. At any rate, I think there's kind of a sense that you've done what you needed to do with that learning curve. And that's where the Six of Wands comes in. And that's honestly where the Ace of Wands comes in. It's where the Page of Pentacles comes in. It's where the Emperor comes in. It's where the Ace of Cups comes in. These are all initiator energies. These are all beginner energies. These are all infusions of energy that have to do with starting a new cycle. You know, the Emperor is tied to Aries, and we are hitting that equinox with Aries energy and a new moon in Aries and everything coming to full light. Now, like I said, Aries is interesting because it is the first sign of the zodiac, and up in the northern hemisphere, this is very much rebirth, spring energy. In the southern hemisphere, it's also communing with death and rebirth in that fall, autumn spookiness. Either way, Aries has a really interesting connection with you specifically because it is so tied to death and rebirth for you. And the thing that I want you to keep in mind is you can feel really joyful, happy. These new things can be coming in. You can feel that you are connecting with your next exciting challenge, your next learning curve, your next relationships, your next opportunities, your next happinesses. All of that can be just lighting up like wild. And yet you can still feel that you have to go into the darkness, into the amorphousness, and even into the fear points within yourself to check in. And this is really important to do. The goal isn't to sugarcoat and be falsely cheery and just excited and woo, 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 because things are exciting. It's okay to tap in to kind of a more primordial wisdom. Now, I'm not saying the 8 and 9 of Swords are actually that wise, because often this is tapping into our lizard brain, the part of our bodies that is wired to look for scary things and survive. We are biological beings here in this body that have a nervous system and have the ability to perceive danger. We are designed to protect ourselves. And the 8 and 9 of Swords are kind of like that modification of it into our mental space, right? Where we don't make decisions necessarily based off of that knowing we're going to be okay. We sometimes make those decisions based off that fear voice that wants to come in and keep us safe. But I will say this. With the wisdom of the Hermit, which is your card, right? The Hermit goes down into the well. He goes down into the labyrinth. He goes down into the hidden and the unseen without fear, without worry, right? This is that deep, guiding, old, ancient wisdom that we have within us. And the Hermit is your guiding point for this 8 and 9 of Swords, which is, where you second guess yourself. Maybe this will all end. Maybe I can't trust myself. Maybe I'm not allowed to begin a new energetic cycle. Maybe I should go back and learn again. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe it has been a couple of years of a deep learning and I know exactly what it is, but I feel like I still want to stay learning that. Maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe, all these voices that are coming in. The Hermit being your guiding voice through this is telling me that it's okay to walk through this landscape and look at all of this. To look and listen and hear this voice that is scared. Now, rather than just being like, okay, you're scared, it's okay, I want you to question it. What are you really afraid of? Is it really true? These thoughts, these questionings. It's not about going on the attack with them or forcing yourself into some kind of positive mindset, but it's more about, it's kind of like those thoughts and those fears parade around like they are very real. Like it's a real Elizabethan manor that you're walking around. The floorboards are real and the costumes are real and you're actually in, 1580s London or something like that. But then you poke one of the walls and you realize it's cardboard that's been painted. And I mean, obviously that's not really a nightmare scenario being in like a beautiful Elizabethan manor, obviously. But like the point being that if it feels really real and then you poke at it and you realize it's cardboard and you realize this whole thing, this whole edifice of why you can't do something or why something is scary falls away. And that it's not actually as powerful or as strong as it seems. And when we are willing to go here and just sit with this stuff and kind of question it and push on it, it liberates us. And that is one of the huge lessons of Saturn in Aquarius, is that liberation is essential and that we have to create new containers. And I've been talking about this a lot for the last few months and we haven't even started this transit, but it's a really important part of the process. Because here's the thing, talking of liberation, that 10 of Cups wanted to be in this reading, I swear. This is liberated energy. It's quite different from this, right? There's a big blue sky, there's a huge landscape, there's communion with others, there's connection, there's ease, there's flow, there's deep trust. I would say the 10 of Cups, the reason it is capable of being here with these characters, with just being present in the awe of it all, is the deep trust in your being allowed to be here at this moment, and not questioning it all the time, not getting in your mind, getting in your thoughts about, oh, I'm not allowed to be done with this project. I'm not allowed to be done with this version of myself. I'm not allowed to create that space in my life that feels good for me. I'm not allowed to do things differently. Any of those voices like that, this month is going to be questioning them deeply, and it will take you into the underground. It will take you to the places that maybe feel scary or uncomfortable. But generally speaking, everything around you is like, here, have this, have it, go ahead. I think when we're activating a bigger, bolder version of ourselves as well, it's essential that we go to the deep, dark parts of ourselves. As above, so below. And so we have to balance this out. So as we expand and we grow, we also have to contract and check in down there. And those two, as long as you're okay with holding these two states at the same time, you can grow with a lot more ease than when you try and just suppress that part of yourself that's maybe a little freaked out or a little scared. And I will be doing some really great Patreon offerings for Saturn shifting into Aquarius, for the equinox, for activating this catalyst energy, because we are starting a new energy cycle here. And what's really interesting with Aquarius, these first couple of months of it tapping into Saturn tapping into Aquarius, is that it is also activating Uranus. And these two are going to be in conversation doing some really big things over the next few months. So this is a time where something is getting activated, and that means that we're changing and we can't stay where we were. At any rate, I'm going to be adding a lot of valuable information and exercises over on Patreon if you're looking for something to hold you and take with you while you explore this space. I will leave my link below for that. And I want to give you guys some affirmations for this month to take with you as you work through this energy and as you work through this big, bold, exciting time of new relationships and new projects. So here we go. I trust my new surroundings. Discovering and being curious always offers me positive solutions. Transformation feels good and supportive. My ability to truly see and experience is enhanced and clear. The one other note I wanted to add into this conversation today was to listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. Listen to where it feels tense, where it gets an ache or a pain, where it feels tired, where it feels energized, where it feels happy, where it feels at ease. Note that stuff down, because your body is going to guide you very effectively. Yes, we are energetic beings. We are emotive beings. We work in frequencies. That's totally true. But our bodies, unbeknownst to our conscious minds, are constantly working with our subconscious and with our spiritual and helping us give feedback. And our bodies are one of the ways we can get as close to spirit as possible, even in pain and in discomfort. That can help us bring us back to greater alignment. I'm not trying to sugarcoat pain or illness at all. I think I'm talking more about just communing with your body more consistently. I know that my body has been giving me lots of feedback during this Mercury retrograde and helping me to refine and hone where I'm using my energy, and it's been a really useful tool in just getting clearer answers. So it's a great tool for you in March. Take really good care of yourselves. I will be opening up a handful of sessions, select sessions in March and April, and I'm still working on the schedule, but keep your eye out. I will be putting announcements out on Instagram, so you can find me at Sarah Verba. You can also find my calendar and my booking page at SARAHTAROT.com. I'll leave all of the direct links right below, so you can just go check those out, as well as my Patreon. And of course, you guys all know what's going to happen next. PinkLune and her gorgeous creations. I will leave her link below as well if you're looking to get your hands on some beautiful handmade jewelry, brass jewelry, hand cut stones, all this beautiful stuff. So go check her out. I'll leave all the goodies in the description box. I'll see you in April for more transformation in the Virgo clan. I'm totally with you all here. I'm living this Virgo moon life, and I will see you all very soon.